Good morning. I'm so excited to have today on Live Local Lake County CEO and President of United Way Lake County, Kristi Long. Good morning, Kristi.
Good morning, Mary.
Nice to see you. I'm really excited to hear more about United Way Lake County and the mission and how we can help. So first, would you mind just giving a little bit of a background on how you got involved with United Way and explain its mission?
Sure. Well, here in Lake County, United Way, we will be celebrating our 80th birthday in just a couple of years. And I started with United Ways in the 1980s in Omaha, Nebraska, which is my hometown. And when you think back on United Way's role, it's always been about local community and local issues. And across the country, there are over 1,000 United Ways, but each one of them is laser focused on their own community and what's going on in that community. And so here in Lake County, over the past 10 years, we've gotten a bit more focused, and we really hone in on education, especially early education, helping kids get that foundation so when they enter kindergarten, they are totally prepared to succeed. And then, of course, reaching out to families who are challenged, helping them become and remain self-sufficient.
Wonderful. Local issues and laser focused, that is really, especially right now with COVID, has been, I know that you've kind of morphed your vision or your what do I want to say, the services that are provided at a more bottom level service. And the early education, you just hit a real big area that resonates with me as a former teacher, that I saw how on the front end, when we invested in pre-K and kindergarten and had all of the students at the same level, from having books at home to reading to students, it's so vitally important. The investments we make on the front end really pay off in the back end. So can you tell us what services that you've been providing and how you had to morph with the COVID-19 and your responses to that, and
Sure.
how you've been laser focused?
Sure. So, I mentioned education, and in education, we've really looked at three areas. One is the early childhood, because we just know, like you said, the best return on investment is getting that child prepared to learn in kindergarten. The second area we look at is early literacy, because that's the second challenge that a child will have. So we do have tutors in schools helping children up to third grade get on top of their reading ability, comprehension, and all of that. And then we do some things around career imagination. And what we found, especially in some communities that are more challenged, the students really don't have a broad idea of what they can be in this world. Mm-hmm. And so we do a lot of bringing in career speakers or field trips where we take students to corporations so they can learn about all the jobs. I remember one of the most fascinating field trips was to Cancer Treatment Centers of America up in Zion. And the students all thought of nurses and doctors, but they didn't think of the hundreds of other jobs that it takes to make a medical center work. From the greeting at the receptionist to the lab workers to everything else. So that's our part in education. And then in basic needs, we've always been about, the basic needs that a family who may be struggling needs. And as you mentioned, COVID just completely exacerbated that. I think people have heard over and over since March, the greatest needs have been around food. They've also just been around shelter, keeping your apartment, being able to pay the rent, or being able to pay your mortgage or your utility bills. And certainly, I want to mention 211 has been a big part of our COVID response. But our top 10 needs, oops, that's my dog, Lucy. Sorry.
Hi, Lucy.
Oh, she's looking at you. Thank you. But
that's great. I love it.
Oh, I know. We get to see everyone's kids and dogs on this.
It's life.
Yes. So for the past 6 months, the top 10 needs on 211 have been all about shelter, utilities, and food. So that's a place where the community has really come together, and so many people have volunteered around, food drives or raising money for it or supporting the Northern Illinois Food Bank. And then volunteering. That's been a big piece of this as well.
Wonderful. You were talking about the shelter, and I just signed on to a letter yesterday appealing to governor's office for more rental assistance because the need is so great. And we, again, just the same as investing in our children in the front end, investing in people to keep them in their homes, in their apartments now rather than homeless, which will create a whole to house people. What can people do if they're watching this video and they say this is so many people are so familiar with United Way in general that they have within their company, they have matching funds. And I remember when I was in the private sector that they would match whatever they donated. What can people do? Because there are, you said the volunteering and the food banks, but some people just don't feel comfortable with that. Can they financially support United Way in any way?
Oh, of course they can, and we welcome those contributions. Anyone can visit our website, and it is liveunitedlakecounty.org. And there's also a place to indicate if you think your company might have a matching fund, and we will follow up on that and let you know if that's something that you qualify for. But on that website, you can give a one-time gift, you can give monthly gifts. I'll also mention that we do have volunteer opportunities on the 211, and many of them are safe volunteer opportunities, things you can do in your home or just in your neighborhood. And we're doing that in partnership with the Lake County Board. So,
okay. I knew 211 provided services, and I've actually used it as I've been making contacts with my constituents. If we don't know the right service, we'll give them to 211. I didn't realize that you can actually volunteer on the 211. You said, can you repeat the website again? We'll put it up on the social media as well, but just to say it again.
Sure, it's 211lakecounty.org.
Okay, and there will be different volunteer opportunities for people? And
yes.
I'm assuming that there's short-term and long-term, and if you have an hour or, okay.
Everything from making masks, to being a virtual tutor. So for example, one of our programs, our tutoring program, we do it in the Waukegan School District. We have tutors in virtual. So
that's okay.
It actually makes it easier for someone to do it because you can just jump on the Google platform that Waukegan schools use, tutor your child for 30 minutes and click off, no travel. Makes it very easy. We're hoping that we'll get more volunteers because of that.
Wow, that's really exciting. Yeah, you are removing that layer of the time to travel if someone has that restriction as well. That's really exciting. I'll have to check that out because I'll tell you, I miss being in the classroom and I miss being with the little people. So maybe I'll have to try out and see if I can do some reading or tutoring. It's really exciting.
I would love that. I'll also mention another program that's part of 211 right now because we were talking about housing, and it's the COVID Housing Relief Program. And there are federal monies coming into Lake County to help with rent assistance, mortgage assistance. If you qualify, you can get up to 3 months. And the way to find out more about that program and to start the application program is through 211.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. So they actually, will people on 211 help walk you through that process?
Yes. They have actually hired a couple staff people who are experts in this. And the intake, I think, takes about 30 minutes. Because, a lot of questions. It's a federal program, as you can imagine. But there's funds there for it. We want to make sure word gets out. So we thought in using 211, it would be easier for people to know, where do I start?
And you just hit the nail on the head about that's why we wanted to do these videos, because trying to get information out in a different way, in a different platform, there are, and connecting, that's how I see my job as a legislator as well. We have services and connecting the people to those services. There's so many services that are available, but getting them to the people that need them is key. And we have a very generous community. Our area is quite privileged where my district is, and people are constantly looking for ways that they can help our neighbors. So do you have any last comments that you want to make sure that we hit on? I want to make sure that we talk about all of the great things that the United Way Lake County is doing. Is there?
You know, I'll mention 211 again. So you can call 211 or you can text, and you text by texting your zip code to 898-211. And, you know, it launched last October. And since then, over 40,000 people have been served through 211.
Wow.
So Mary, I think this really hits your point. I think Lake County has a wealth of government programs, of nonprofit agencies that do a great job. But when you're having trouble or when you're having a crisis, sometimes you just can't think straight. And calling 211, it's more than just them giving you a number. They're going to help you think through your issue. And if you call with an issue, they're going to ask you lots of questions to make sure they're really answering what needs to be, you know, what you need help with. And I just can't stress that enough, especially today with, you know, it's frightening for a lot of people, just the unknown. And until there's a vaccine, we're going to be in this kind of in-between world, and mental health has come out as a big issue. Quite sure where to turn. 211 is a great first step. It's friendly, it's confidential, you're going to be well taken care of, and it's that first step to reach out and find the help that you might need with anything that might be going on within your family. That's
great. And, you know, I wonder, as you were talking about mental health, and I agree that this is going to be the long haul, that maybe we can in the future hone in on something a little more specific. This was a very general, very broad conversation, and we can even play this video over and over again to get the information out. And I have been just so amazed and so proud of all of Lake County and how we've come together, and how organized, and how many people we've had working in the trenches for a really long time, from our health department to the board, and how they've been allocating funds to where we need them. And you've been able to react as the needs have been around.
Completely. And I just have to do a shout out to the Lake County Health Department as well. I think they've been just exceptional, and just really getting good information out there through their emails, alerts, and that. And I know that their people have worked tirelessly. So
kudos. I second that motion. Absolutely. And that's what this was all about, was raising those of you who have been working so hard in the trenches during this crisis, and the services that you're providing. I'm just hats off to all of you for all the work that you do. And thank you for taking time out this morning to share a little bit about United Way Lake County.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you for having me, and invite us back.
Okay, sounds great. Have a great day, Kristi.
Thank you. You too, Mary.
Right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.